Hello, I'm Courtney, what's up, and welcome to Booktalk. Today I'm going to be discussing Stars Above by Marissa Meyer, and oh my goodness, this book was so good. I finished it last night, gave it 5 stars on GOODREADS, give it like a 98%, and if you don't know what this is a Lunar Chronicles collection. It has 9 short stories dealing with our favorite Lunar Chronicles characters, and if you have not read this yet, I highly recommend it. If you haven't read the Lunar Chronicles yet, I don't know what you're doing, but like, go read those books. Cinder, the first book, it's like Cinderella retelling. They're fairy tale retelling, and it's awesome. And so, if you have not read this book yet, you don't want to be spoiled, I will leave now. So, bye, non-spoilerly people. Okay, so look at this cover. It's so beautiful. So, okay, Stars Above. I'm just gonna talk about each story quickly, but first, there's The Keeper, and I really liked that one. It was about Scarlett's grandma, Michelle, and I just really liked learning about those 8 years with her taking care of Cinder. It was just very interesting, because I thought I wasn't going to like that, but I actually did. And the whole story about Michelle and Logan was beautiful and depressing, and I thought they were going to get together at the end, but they didn't, and that was really disappointing. But I overall really enjoyed The Keeper, and I loved seeing Scarlett as like a 6-year-old and 13-year-old and being feisty, and I'm just like, I can't believe she like ran away from home and her dad didn't even notice. Like, that was crazy. But The Keeper was amazing. I loved it, and just I love that Michelle named Cinder because she never got to interact with her, so she was like, let me name her at least. Let me give her this one thing and give her a name. And when she said, hello, Cinder, and she opened her eyes, it was beautiful. Then there's Glitches. I don't have a lot to say about this because it was one of my least favorites, because it was depressing because Adri was there and I don't like Adri, and Pearl was there and I don't like her, but it was really nice seeing Penny again because I forgot how much I like missed her, and she's such a fun character. It's really depressing that she died, but yeah, I just didn't like Glitches because it was sad, and then the end happened, and I felt bad for Garen, of course, and we get to meet Garen in these first 2 stories, and I am not a fan of him because he barely talked to Cinder, and I thought they would have a close relationship, but they didn't, and that just made me really sad that they weren't close. Like, oh, I loved, though, that Cinder fixed Eco, and when she was, like, charging her, and Garen was there, and Cinder was just like, oh look, I fixed Eco. And he was just like, okay, like, I just thought they would be close. That was sad. So, Glitches, I was not a fan of you. And then there's, the Queen Darby, which is about, C, aka Wolf. We get to see him become Wolf. And the Queen's Army was actually, like, probably one of my favorites. Like, it was actually really interesting to learn about the army and how, like, the process works, and how there's all these different groups, and there's packs, and there's the Alpha, and then there's a Thermitage in charge and everything. It was interesting, but it was so sad to see Z taken away from his family, and how when he was hugging his mom, and all of a sudden he was having these thoughts like, oh, my parents are weak and stupid, this place is awful, being in the army would be an honor, and it's that stupid Thermitage, like, giving him those thoughts. I was just, oh, I hate the Thermitages. I hate them so much, and I can't believe later on in The Prince of the Guard, when Winter was like, I want to be a Thermitage, I was like, no you don't, they're bad. But it was just really interesting to learn about how the process works in the army, and oh my gosh, when Wolf's brother Ron came, and he was just like, just forget we were brothers, like, don't stand up for me, like, you just embarrassed me right now. I was just like, excuse me, like, he was standing up for you. And then Ron was worshipping the Alpha. I forgot his name. Like, was it Bach or something like that? I don't remember. But, yeah. Queen's Army. Very interesting. And then the next story. What's the next story? Isn't it Carswell? Yeah, Carswell's Guide to Being Lucky. This was such a fun and upbeat story. It was so just happy. And I just loved reading from 13-year-old Thorn in LA, you know, just playing poker and has like a bank account and invests money. It was great how he was failing maths, and we get to see Kate Fallow. We get to see that whole deal, you know, happen because it's mentioned in Crest, and I just loved reading that, how he saw Kate getting bullied and he like went there and like stop them, and even though he got punished, like it was worth it though. And I just love seeing the friendship of Kate and Carswell, and just how Carswell is such a huge flirt. I mean, we all know like he's a huge flirt, but dang, he was like flirting so hard at age 13, and he was like asking all the girls out to this dance. I was just like, dude, my gosh, total flirt. But oh, I love Thorn so much, so I had a really fun time reading that story. And then the next story is I think it's the Cress one. Yeah, After Sunshine Passes By. This is about Cress going to the satellite, and this story was the most depressing thing in the world because one, we get to see how like the shells are treated, and it's awful when like Sybil was like, oh yeah, someone like hacked into stuff and like was reading stuff, like you guys don't deserve to read until you're true citizens of Luna. I was just like, really? Like, you don't want these kids to have an education? Like, I found that so dumb, and just, oh, I hate Sybil. Like, Sybil's in the half of these stories, and just can't stand her. But, my gosh, when Cress was with Sybil, they were going to the docks, and Cress is like, am I going to Earth? Because they, they were like, oh, you need to get closer to Earth to hack and spy and stuff, And they were in the ship, and she's just looking at her. She's just like, oh wow, so beautiful. I'm gonna see trees and the sun and the sky. And then they go to the satellite, and she's 9. She has to stay in the satellite alone for like years. And she was 9 when she first gets there. It's just crazy to think about that. And poor Cress, she's just like, you're leaving me alone. I felt so bad for her. And then there's The Princess and the Guard, which turned out to be one of my favorites. Even though Winter and Jason are my least favorite characters, I have like a new profound love for them. I loved them in this story. I loved it in the beginning, seeing them play the game, The Princess and the Guard, as little 8-year-olds. It was so cute, and how they were like, oh, you're in my tribe now. Oh, really? Like, you're in my tribe now? And just for going back and forth. I loved it. And then we get to see Winter save that girl from committing suicide. And that was so just intense. And then Winter would be nice to her. And then the girl would avoid her. And then she did kill herself. And I actually forgot that she wanted to kill herself because she got pregnant with Dermatage's Park's baby. I forgot all about that. So when I read that, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she was pregnant with his kid. But then I remembered that they mentioned that in Winter. And I was just like, but this is something I should know. But I just forgot about it, And just, it was so sad. Poor Winter just felt like it was all her fault because she saved her in the first place. And I just wanted to give her a hug. Like, I had this new love for Winter. Like, I was not the biggest fan of her in Winter. But now I love her. She's so innocent and precious. And, oh my gosh, when she was at the training, and she was going to manipulate that girl, and she couldn't do it, and then she was like to Jason, I can't do it, like, I'm never using my gift again. And then when she had the first nightmares, it was her dad. Oh, it was just all the nightmares, man. It was so sad. And then when she was like, Jason is always going to be there, and she just, like, realized that she's been in love with Jason that whole time. It was so beautiful. I just loved The Princess and the Guard. I mean, something old, something new was definitely my favorite, but I think The Princess and the Guard is tied for #1 as well. It's like at least a close first. And then there's The Little Android. And this was probably my least favorite story just because it wasn't the Little Mermaid retelling I was expecting. I'm not the biggest fan of Star. I did not like her because she wanted to kill Miko, and I really like Miko. It was really cool that Miko was a cyborg. That was interesting. So that was kind of like the Little Mermaid parallel. Like, I guess Miko was to represent Ariel, and Daytrin was Eric. So is Star like Ursula? Like, I don't know what Star was supposed to represent. The only good part about this story was when Meg 6.0 went to New Beijing and got fixed by Cinder. That was nice, and I loved how her new body, she can't speak. Like, I just loved that parallel, and just, it was so sad at the end, though, because I was confused, because Miko and Daedrin were there, and then Star was getting yelled at by Miko's dad, and it kind of just clicked that they switched bodies. And it was so nice of Star to do, but then she died, and it was just so sad, but grateful, because I was like, I want Miko and Daedrin together, because Star is kind of like crazy over Daedrin, you know, but it was a nice story, but it wasn't what I wanted. And then there's the mechanic. Love this story. I loved how Kai would just like stare at Cinder, and it was just like, wow, like I like this girl. And how at the end he was like, this mechanic is going to change everything, and I was just like, oh yeah, she is, because she's gonna start a revolution, and then before you know it, you guys are gonna start dating, and you're gonna get engaged, and just, I loved it. I loved that interaction, and it made me really want to reread Cinder, because I remember nothing from Cinder, but I love Kai so much, and I just love that moment, and just Iko being there too. She was just hilarious, and I loved it. And then there's something old, something new, and this story was fantastic. I loved hearing about the government and how there's like parliament and ambassadors and representatives, and everything is going well. And Cinder still lives on Luna, and it's been like forever since she's been Earth. Like the last time she went to Earth was for the Commonwealth Peace Ball with Kai. She went, and how a majority of Earth supported her. I love that. She was getting autographs, and kids were calling her their hero, and it was amazing. I just love that. And how she was like, when she saw Kai, when she got there, and just realized that Kai is her home, all the feels. And Kai and Cinder were amazing in this story. I am so glad they did not get married, because when I just started reading the epilogue, I did not want them to get married, because it just wouldn't have been right. I am so glad that Kai proposed in the end. The proposal was beautiful. Like, it was perfect. I am so glad he did not propose at the end of winter, because this proposal at the end was amazing. And I am so happy for Scarlet and Wolf. I forgot how much I shipped them. They are amazing. And just how I pictured Scarlet in her wedding dress, it was just such a beautiful image. And it was so much fun seeing everyone reunited, and all the adventures with Cress and Thorn. I loved it, and how Cinder was like, it was Thorn's like personal goal for Cress to go everywhere and see everything. I loved it. And the wedding was beautiful, and how they did it like 3 days early, and it was just all of them, you know, together, and they just did it in private, because, you know, it's been chaos because all of the journalists. I loved it. It was just so amazing and beautiful, and just all the feels, man. But this book was just so good. I loved revisiting this world, and hopefully I will reread the Lunar Chronicles series, because I really want to reread the Lunar Chronicles series now. But yes, that's it for this video today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to watch more book reviews and more videos dealing with Marissa Meyer's books, you can click the subscribe button down below. And so yeah, I'm Courtney, and I'll see y'all next time with a new video episode, so I will see you next though. Goodbye! Yo!